Da-da-da-da! That's how it begins. It's the most iconic opening of any musical piece in the world.
For sure.
And people always talk about these 4 first notes. But for me, what is really special is the pause that comes before these first 4 notes. If that pause had not been there, the rest at the beginning, da-da-da-dum, we would have felt a bit more settled. Da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum. And many people in many conductors, many orchestras in time have played it like that. But as a matter of fact, you need to feel the tension of that first rest.
It launches out of that.
Yes, that's where all the energy lies. And this, in my opinion, connects very well to the fact that this is a turning point in Beethoven's production of symphonies. It's so strange that he begins with a rest, and it's the first symphony so far where he begins with a rest. It's also his first symphony in a minor key.
Right.
And he chooses not just a minor key, he chooses a C minor key. So it's basically a big contrast to where he began, namely in C major in his first symphony. It's a big contrast and a very forceful way of saying something. So the question is, what does Beethoven want to say? The word fate, I think, describes it quite well, because in my opinion, even though Beethoven was not aware himself of it, all his symphonies is his way of trying to, either for himself or to the world, answer the big question of why. Why are we here? Why life? Why are we being put into this world with no obvious reason? And therefore, the rest is so important, because in that rest, the big question mark lies. Da-da-da-dum! He starts with a question mark. The high point of that movement, the first movement, is actually, in some ways, a low point, because it stands in contrast to everything that happens in the first movement around it. He continues with da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and it feels like this thought that you cannot get out of your head. Even though the phone rings, even though you speak with a friend, even though you eat dinner, this terrible thought, I think we all know it, is still there. We are worried. But he breaks through the big wall and goes directly into an oboe solo, a complete contrast to everything else in the movement. And this oboe solo just signalizes a complete stop. And then it goes on in the same way as before. So we can never escape destiny, we can never escape fate. That's what Beethoven tries to say, I think.